Hey friends and family, welcome to the farm. I have a special guest here tonight, Chase from Chasing Dreams. Most of you guys that are probably watching this already know Chase because that's where most of the people I post come from. But I just wanted to do a little update, a little interview, and kind of talk also about the spring meetup. We've got a lot of people lined up for that. And I kind of just wanted to talk about that because I kind of got involved with that. Just in the background, I offered to help Chase, and like Chase always does, he wanted to make sure people knew I was helping, and I just kind of wanted to say thanks and kind of put that together for everybody how I got involved. Really, I planned on being behind the scenes, but Chase has kind of got me into this and into the social media, so I'm definitely giving it a go. But we're gonna see what we can do tomorrow morning. Dylan's gonna go out hunting in the morning, so we're hoping we can get something good. So with that, just want to give a little update on the meet and greet. Luke Gross from Gross Family Farms will be coming. He's actually been to my farm. He is very knowledgeable. He does consulting, but when I had him out, he's a full-time farmer, and I know like we're homesteading, but I know a lot of us would love to be on the farm and turn our farms into profit centers. And I think he'll be helpful in that realm of a guy that's taken something he enjoys, but has turned it into his living. So with that, I'll kind of let Chase chime in. We have a lot of great people lined up, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned about Luke, it sounds like this guy's a marketing genius. I've not personally got to meet him yet, but you're a very smart person. I think if there's anyone that's got a ton of street smarts and business smarts, you would be the guy. So if you saw something in him and were like, this guy can really bring something to the table as the, keynote speaker at the end of the meet and greet, I think it's going to be a good thing for the whole community to hear what he has to say. Like you said, we're all trying to find a way to be able to do more of what we want to do. And obviously, a lot of times that is the revenue. We need some financial, assistance there. And in order to do that, you've got to be able to market whatever it is you're doing on your homestead. So I think that'll be a big plus for a lot of folks. I do want to step back just to say that God dialed up the perfect weather for Dylan's hunt in the morning. It was 75 today, and tomorrow morning it's going to be 24 and snowing, so it's going to be great. It's a good way to cut his teeth, I think. I know you spent a lot of time in a stand. I've spent a lot of time in a stand, and nothing like being out there by yourself, cold, and just waiting. So it's going to be good. It's a good time for self-reflection. Now back to that meet and greet. We started that thing. It was kind of really like an informal. I just wanted to get people together that had the same kind of, energy and interest in what I was doing. I wanted to meet other people that were doing the same thing. I wanted to learn from people. I love to learn from people, and I'm always willing to share anything I know or help people. So it just really seemed like a good way to start finding out who around us was doing this. And it kind of blew my mind because we had people come for the first one from like 4 or 5 hours away. I was like, wow, but that's crazy. And they came each time. So that's like, they must have enjoyed themselves to keep coming back. That's no small trip to Walmart. They're coming from a distance. They're planning an entire day around this, so that's huge. And I started to do another informal spring one. And then that's where you came in. You were like, hey brother, I want to help if you'll let me help. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So you've locked down an indoor facility for it, so we don't have to worry about the weather at all, which is nice because I was thinking along the lines of doing like a picnic shelter at the park that we had been doing it at in case it rained or whatnot. We'd be under a roof. But that climate controlled building is really, I think, at least on my end, is going to make it more appealing to more people. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think, anybody that likes the heat can thank my wife because, as I told Chase, the first thing that came to mind was I know my wife likes to be warm, so I started looking for a place where we could be inside. But yeah, it's just a lot easier. It is a commitment. Even for us, we're probably almost almost 3 hours away right now. So it's just convenient to know we can plan our day around it, rain or shine. You know, there's parking, there's an indoor place. Yeah, I think it'll just, you know, and it's always fun. And I guess I should add a little backstory. So just to kind of talk about Chase and the building community part, I actually met Chase just through a Facebook ad for some hatching eggs. So, I mean, it's kind of ironic when I got started, I was only on social media because I needed to buy a tractor and I couldn't message the person without Messenger. And then through that, I somehow found hatching eggs that Chase had for sale. And I was actually coming back from Kentucky with processing equipment, and we stood and talked for a while. And then I'm like, I got to show you this processing equipment I got. It was such a great deal. I still haven't even really set it up, but it's definitely in the plans, you know, to get that set up and working. But I think just, you know, it's kind of ironic to me that, you know, I just met him through some hatching eggs, and just goes to show kind of what the group does and kind of what getting together and just being around like-minded people can do. It's really helpful, I think.
I agree with you, man. And when you do things, you go big. Apparently, that Featherman set, that's awesome. I can't wait to see you get that thing under a permanent shelter and get it fired up. That's going to be cool. And so we've got this spring meet and greet coming up. We're going to have a ton of different things at this spring meet and greet, but this will also be a good place for you guys to come out and meet Jake, you know, meet us, meet other homesteaders. And there's going to be some folks that are far more experienced than we are in homesteading, and that is huge to me because I'm the kind of guy that if someone wants to take the time to teach me something, I'm like a sponge and I want to hear everything you're going to tell me. And so we've got people that are coming out to do that for us at this homestead meet and greet. They're going to give presentations. We've got a lady that's going to come out and talk dairy goats with everybody, and she is doing tremendously well in the show world right now. I've reached out to the Indiana Dairy Goat Association president to see if he would want to come and talk about showmanship. The lady that's coming to talk about the dairy goats is just talking to us about the whole milk collection and whatnot. She's going to give a presentation on that and potentially cheese and ways to process the milk, store the milk, etc. But I also asked because I know that some homesteading families have kids that want to do 4-H and whatnot and don't have a show background. Jake did 4-H, so he knows about it. And I'm blessed to know Mike Summerlot. He's the, like I said, the president for the Indiana Dairy Goat Association, and he's going to check the schedule. He won't know for sure until April if that same weekend is the first open show, but if not, he's indicated that he's going to be willing to come out and talk to folks. And who better to get information from on showing your livestock than the president of the association? It's pretty big. And this individual's had a history, I would say probably 19, 20 years long of showing goats. He's won nationals with some of his goats. He's got several grand champions, but his family also came from showing, and that was really cool. He posted some articles a while back of his parents with their show stock. So I just think that would be a big thing for folks that are interested in, like you said, Luke, the marketing. You know, if you start getting out at the show rings and showing that you have quality stock and you've invested in your stock, that's a good way for your homestead name to get out there amongst people that might not necessarily be homesteaders, might be farmers. And networking and building that community are very important things, especially with the supply chain disruptions we have and every other thing that we're getting tossed at us right now. Just being able to say, you know what, I met so-and-so at that meet and greet. I can't get what I normally get from the big box store, but I bet they might have it or know a guy or a lady that has it. So that's a good opportunity for folks to get out and network. We're going to have a talk on raising meat rabbits. We've got a lady that's coming to do that. We've also got some native plants speakers that are going to come, so we're pretty excited about that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited to learn the different native plants around Indiana that I can incorporate into my homestead that will thrive here because this is where they're from. I mean, think about all the energy you put into a non-native plant to try to get it to thrive in an environment that it's not from. I mean, you know, we've all heard of the ones that come in and just take over, but some plants really struggle because it's not their native environment. So learning that native plant science and what will do well in this environment is pretty cool to me. We'll have people that come for that as well. And then we've also got a lady that's going to come talk about medicinals and foraging. So that's another useful skill for homesteaders. We've got the individual that you had a blacksmithing class. Yeah. He's going to come set up his forge and give a talk on blacksmithing. I think you learned some stuff there. What do you think about that?
I mean, I love learning new skills, and I told him I'd be back, and unfortunately I haven't got back yet, but I definitely plan on continuing that. I mean, I think everybody in the homesteading world kind of knows, but there's something about taking those tools and making something that, you know, is pretty empowering. So
absolutely. I mean, the lineup is getting so deep that we are able to separate into 2 presentations, sometimes 3 presentations at a time. So if there's a presentation that's going on that doesn't interest you, and I use this as an example because it's the first readily available one that comes to my mind, but if you're a vegan and you're not really going to want to hear about meat rabbits, but there's other presentations that you'll want to go hear. So we're going to have different things for you to check out while you're there, which I think will be a good draw for folks to come in, because if you don't want to hear this topic, there's another presentation right here, and you can go over there to kill time until the next one or learn something valuable from that presenter. We're also in the morning time, before everything gets started, we're going to do a seed exchange and goods swap. Folks will be able to come and bring seeds or whatever, plants or whatever, and exchange those. We are not bringing any kind of livestock to this event. This is not like a meet and greet. I mean, it's not like a farm swap. So it's not a swap meet. This is more a meet and greet. Will be presentations, but we are allowing that seed and plant exchange in the morning time. And I think a good bit of that is we just really wanted people to be able to focus on the different presenters that come out, because these folks are offering their time and their expertise on these matters. So we don't want folks to have to worry about going back to their vehicle to check on an animal that they brought or any of those things, you know. I know I'm pretty fired up, and I know you are too.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I don't think you realize how much work is behind the scenes. I know one thing I will mention that I'm planning on bringing too is I will have 3 dog-proof traps. I'm going to bring some trapping gear just to show off, but I plan on doing 3 dog-proof traps, which are very simple to set. And I actually plan on doing a little video with Grant, my son, hopefully in the creek in front of us. But I'm going to bring three of those traps, but the key is they'll be set up. The stakes will have clips. So basically, it's going to be a youth giveaway. So any of the youth that are there can sign up to win these 3 traps, but it'll be set up so you don't need any other tools. You'll be able to take those home, and as long as you approve of it, you know, let them trap your chicken coop or any place where you're having predator problems, or if you have a creek. But they will need no other tools, and these traps, you can actually set them and use, obviously they make commercial trapping lures and baits, but you can use mini marshmallows and chocolate syrup. You can use, there's just a lot of things you can use that are in your house probably, so you won't have to special order any trapping supplies or anything else. So I thought that would be a nice way to do it, you know, that may let somebody get out and do some trapping, or, you know, maybe you need them to do some trapping around your chicken coop or something like that. So, but that way they won't need any other tools, and they can take those home and, you know, really give them a try. So
I think that's pretty cool, and I don't know a lot about trapping. That is a skill I would like to learn, but it is becoming a lost art. So I think that's really cool that you thought of not only giving the presentation, but doing the giveaway to try to, you know, like I like to say, plant that seed in the next generation's heart. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, that was one of the only things I could get access to other people's farms for, was trapping. And I don't know, to me it's just a really enjoyable thing to do. And when it comes to predator control, it's an extremely effective way to manage your predators. I know that, you know, they say you can obviously have dogs and everything else, but you can't always have enough, and sometimes you need to thin that population out other ways. But that's one thing that I thought would be kind of a unique way to get a kid started. So
yeah, absolutely, man. We've also got a buddy of mine that's coming out from Crestwood. He's going to give a presentation on plant starts, getting plant starts. He's been very successful at not only growing his own plant starts for his U-Pick operation, but also selling plant starts. So he's going to come and give a presentation on that. His wife had an extremely successful U-Pick cut flower operation in the past 2 years. So she's going to give a presentation on that. We've got an individual coming from Cord in Indiana, Gypsy Rain Organics. I don't know if you saw my interview with him, but I'm pretty excited that he's going to come out and talk to everybody. The things he's doing with, I think he said it was a 75 by 100 garden. It'll just blow your mind. It's a lot of that is getting the soil built up to where you want it to be, that it can produce the things you want without having to add commercial fertilizers. And he's going to come talk about that, and also being able to market your produce. So that's huge. If animals aren't your thing, there's going to be folks there to talk produce and that kind of aspect. If animals are your thing, there's going to be tons of livestock knowledge being shared at the event. And my personal favorite, our events are always kind of like a family reunion. We're going to do a pitch-in meal, and the last one, good gravy, the amount of stuff people brought, the food was just phenomenal. So we're going to do a pitch-in meal. I'll be manning the grill for a little bit, and we'll have some fresh cooked food. And even if you don't have food that you're bringing, feel free to eat, because I promise you so much food's going to be there. I don't want anyone to leave, hungry. And that, to me, that's just bringing home the fact that not only are we a community, but we're a family. And sitting and sharing a meal is one thing that families do, in my mind, at least.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I kind of thought, since I have Chase on the spot and didn't tell him anything I was going to ask him, maybe have him. I've talked to him in the past just about how much work he puts in on this Facebook group, and obviously getting started on YouTube. So I think everybody definitely appreciates it. But maybe just talk a little bit about his farm. I'm sure, like I said, if you're watching this, you probably already know him. But Chasing Dreams Facebook page and YouTube. Dylan's here. Dylan usually does all the work, and then Chase poses for the pictures. That's what Dylan tells me. So, but yeah, make sure it's an easy way to support him. We have a lot of members of the Facebook group. It would be nice. Get on there on YouTube, sign up, subscribe. Just a way to support him he puts a lot of work in. My posts get approved at a lot of different times. So
yeah.
So I just want to say thanks, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the spring.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. And if you need any further information, feel free to reach out to myself or Jake, and we'll get you squared away. It's kind of something I've thought on. I don't know how Jake feels about it, but if there's any folks in the community that want to get out and can't get out because they can't drive or whatnot, if you let us know far enough in advance, I'll try to arrange logistics. Maybe someone else is coming to the event that lives near you. We've got some folks that have already committed that are coming from Pennsylvania, so maybe you're on their route. We want everyone to be able to come out and fellowship and get to experience this event. So if there is a real scenario where you want to come but you're not able to drive for health reasons or whatever the thing is, reach out and I will try on my end to find someone that can give you a lift, even if it's me.
And we'll also try to record some, and Chase will post them on his YouTube channel too. So,
yep.
If you can't go and maybe it just doesn't work out, we'll definitely try to record some of those speakers, and Chase will post those on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been blessed to have this time around, I think 5 different folks sign up to come be photographers of the event and videographers. So
yeah,
that's going to be huge, because obviously you can only be in one place at one time. So if I'm giving a speech, I can't be over filming that presentation. So I appreciate those of you that have reached out and said you would be willing to lend a hand in that area. That's big, and I appreciate all the help that everyone's given towards this event. It really speaks to the kind of people that homesteaders are, in my opinion.
And I know Chase will definitely want to say too, Megan's been a huge help. Me and Chase kind of just throw everything in a chat and say, hey, this person, this, this. Behind the scenes, she's kind of taking all of our random thoughts and putting them in some kind of order. And obviously that's a huge help. So a huge thanks to her. And I haven't met her yet, so obviously I'll get to meet her at the spring event. So special thanks to that. Me and Chase are really good at talking about stuff and putting these ideas in our heads, and it might be a little more chaotic than it will be anyway if we didn't have her. So
yeah, absolutely. I got to meet Megan and Josh at the fall meet and greet we just had, and Josh is her husband, and they showed up, and it was kind of interesting. They showed up and everyone in the family had like a leg brace on a different leg. So we were kind of joking about, how everybody got injured on their leg, and then we just kind of jived a little bit. I thought everything was kind of cool. They were really down to earth, really cool people. They've got a ton of homesteading experience. And when I mentioned doing the spring meet and greet, I had 2 people reach out and be like, hey, do you want help? And Jake was one and Megan was the other. And both people are also giving presentations. So that's really cool. And like you said, I am not the best with technology, and Megan has just been right there. She's like, yeah, I got you. I'll get that whipped up for you or whatever. Like, I've asked her to put together a tentative itinerary so that we can start sharing that with the flyers. And so she's going to get that worked out for us so that we can start doing that. She's even building Google Docs and stuff so that we can track all the expenses, all the different things that go into this event so that we can analyze those and plan for the fall event next year. And I don't want to overshadow the spring event, but the fall event, I am raising a kuni that's going to be roasted for the fall event. So, if something's going on with your schedule and you can't come out April 29th, be on the lookout for that fall event. We've not yet pinned down a day, but we're looking at November. Everybody should be done with harvest and everything like that. So it should be open to folks to be able to come to the fall event. So we're looking at that as well. But Megan, we appreciate you so much, and it's just been a godsend, you and Jake coming forward and helping out with this. I used to take it all on myself, and having people support it and help with it is such a relief, and I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, no problem. As you know, it was full disclosure. Like, I already did a few things and then called Chase and said, hey, this is what I just did. I figured we'd be on the same page. What do you think? So, yeah, it's it's always good when you have somebody that you know is going to put some work in, and you can help them out a little. So,
absolutely, we've been. I don't know, guys. I hate to say it, beating a dead horse, but we've been blessed this whole time. Like, the first spring meet and greet we did, I told my wife, the weather was terrible, and that's
Jake.
It's
cold.
Yeah, Jake and his wife came out, and I was like, oh my God, it's cold, it's windy, no one's going to come. And it was a huge turnout. So we've been blessed at the support from the community, and then folks that have really bought into what we're doing and that also want to build the community too. Jake, Megan, we've got Amber Garling up north. She's looking at doing a winter meet and greet. She's trying to pin down a location for that. So when we get details about that, we're going to share that as well. At least for us, Chasing Dreams Homestead, and I know Dog Creek Farm, we want to see everyone succeed. So if we've got information on an event, if we've got a way to help another homesteader, we're going to share it. We're going to be there for you. So if you guys got events too, let us know, and we'll advertise about your event as well, because we want everyone to just get out and get to know each other away from just behind the camera or the keyboard. I think we all can build a relationship online, but the real deal tight-knit relationships are made in person. That's just my opinion.
Definitely. And I think, it's definitely something that you can translate to your local, if you are traveling from a ways away, get one started where you're at. It's been really impressive to me, and I think it's, you just want to keep building it. So,
yeah, I've said it multiple times. If you can't make it to this one or whatnot, have one where you're at. If you get me the information, as long as I don't have an obligation, I'll come to yours. I call it adventuring. I have no problem hitting the road and going somewhere. You know what I mean? We're actually going. We're going to a wedding next September in Pennsylvania from some awesome homesteaders that came out to the spring meet and greet. So, I mean, I'm all about getting to know folks and getting out there and building the community and supporting the community. So we look forward to seeing everyone at this meet and greet, and we hope that you feel that support from us.
I think that sums it up. So our cameraman's going to sleep over there, so we'll wrap this up, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.